How can someone always be honest? And should they be? Everyone lies a little here and there. Why should I press myself to tell the truth? Won't people just take advantage of me? Why should I take it upon myself to live in truth? By the end of this video, you are going to fully understand the purpose of being honest and how it can help you on your journey to becoming the best you. So, grab yourself a cup of tea, stay tuned, and let's talk about it. Hello, Howell family. I'm your host, HC. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Tea with HC, where we talk about the issues that concern you on your journey to being true to you. In this episode, we are discussing the purpose of honesty. Everyone wants people to be honest with them, yet, not everyone is honest with people. Honesty is more than admitting a truth verbally. Rather, honesty can be seen as a way of life because when you begin to be honest with yourself, the world begins to show you her true colors. We often make excuses for why it was necessary to lie or tell a mistruth. However, the truth is that a lie is told when you don't have the courage to face the truth. And sometimes the hardest truths are the ones we hide from ourselves. Truths such as, maybe we are not as proactive as we would like to believe, and maybe even we are wrong about that situation that caused a rift in a friendship. Although it may be hard to admit certain truths, it is important to note that one foot in the right direction can help to positively change an entire life path. Always remember, when you are dishonest, you are hiding a truth, but at the same time, you are allowing truths to be hidden from you. For example, let's say in your town, everyone likes burgers with pickles in them. Pickled burgers are all everyone talks about, and it's the most commonly enjoyed social meal. Yet, you are absolutely tired of everyone speaking about pickled burgers, and you really can't stomach the taste. Unfortunately for you, it's been difficult to find even one friend that shares this dislike for the burgers, and thus you've been lonely for some time. Then one day, you meet someone in your town who you intend to become friends with. You both get along and share many common interests. Yet, when asked about the pickled burgers, instead of being honest about your dislike, you decide that it might be better if you said that you liked pickled burgers, because maybe that person would think you're weird if you didn't like them, since everyone else loves them. Little do you know, that person was also longing to meet someone that shared a dislike for pickled burgers. Ultimately, you were both looking for each other. That genuine connection was yours to explore had you told the truth. In this simple example, we can see that being afraid of judgment often correlates to the fear of losing what you don't even yet have. You wanted a friend, and to have that friend, you decided to lie. And now, because you lied, you won't get that same connection that you sought out for, which leaves you stuck in the same cycle of looking for a friend that you began with. When you are honest, you allow what's meant to be yours to be drawn to you, and reciprocally, repel things that are genuinely not meant for your life. I'll show you how honesty encourages a better version of you by overriding fear and creating confidence, encouraging self knowledge, and by revealing the true nature of relationships. Hopefully, by then, I can get a sip of this warm black tea. First, honesty overrides fear and creates confidence. We often don't tell the truth in fear of what the repercussions might be. If we told someone exactly what we thought or exactly what the truth is, how would they react? Thus, telling a lie is often the defense mechanism of choice, often learned as far back as in childhood to protect ourselves from perceived danger. For example, imagine yourself as a child and your mother told you not to eat the cookies on the counter. And you knew how displeased she would be if you ate the cookies, and you did not want to face those repercussions, of course. Yet, as she was away, somehow the cookies ended up in your hands, and before you know it, they were all gone. When your mom got back and you sensed that she was going to be mad, in fear, the first instinct you had was to defend yourself and to claim that you didn't eat the cookies, even if there is no other logical explanation for why they would be gone. Unfortunately, we often carry that fearful reaction all the way to adulthood. Therefore, it is important to now acknowledge that living in fear of what could happen often prevents the blessings of what should happen. Always remember, all fear is illusion based. Therefore, choosing to live a dishonest life out of fear is equivalent to choosing to accept an image or a copy of life, as opposed to living and appreciating the real thing, which you are entitled to. Being honest is accepting your fate and choosing to march forward on the journey to becoming the best version of you, because it is the acknowledgement that what is meant for you cannot pass you. Often, we even believe that that sense of fear comes from a good place and choose to be dishonest because that sense of fear encourages the belief that we are lying for the sake of others. For example, let's say you've been so busy with working on your new project that you forgot that you were supposed to go for a nightly stroll with your partner. You knew that you were forgetting something, but because of everything on your mind, you could not remember exactly what that was. Although this mistake had no malicious intent, in fear of the outcome of revealing that you forgot because of how overworked you have been, and to avoid potentially hurting your partner's feelings, you decide to lie and make up a story to save face when you are asked about the nightly stroll, never even mentioning that work has been hectic for you as of late. Yet, if you had told the truth, you would have given your partner the opportunity to become more considerate of your plight. Not only does your fear encourage the reproduction of such lies, if you are always lying or omitting truths, the people you love will never be able to get as close to you as you would expect them to be in your time of need. And ultimately, that would be your fault. By being honest, you are challenging that fear and encouraging a better reality for yourself and your partner. The truth could encourage your partner to be more considerate of the stresses you go through on the daily, which could encourage change behavior and, consequently, an improved relationship. It is true that your truth can encourage reactions that would rather be avoided, but if you don't face that reality, it does not mean that those feared reactions will cease to be. As said by Nigerian novelist Chimamanda Ngozi, never set out to provoke for the sake of provoking, but never silence yourself out of fear that the truth you speak will be provoking. You are necessary. Choose to be. Second, honesty encourages self-knowledge. Knowledge of self is a key element to living a fulfilled life because if you do not know who you are, how could your dreams come true? Honesty gives you access to knowledge of self because living in truth is reciprocally the refusal to shield your true thoughts, feelings, and emotions from who you truly are. Honesty thus creates a clear path on your journey to fulfillment where dishonesty creates confusion. To be honest in this context does not insinuate that you will suddenly know everything about yourself. However, it does suggest that living in truth will crack open the door of access to that information. Living in truth is the acknowledgement that ultimately you can only be you, and being yourself is the most inexhaustible power supply. When you are honest with yourself, you encourage a solidified bond with yourself and thus create the capacity for that bond with others. Your honesty also encourages good mental health because when you are lying to yourself, you are denying yourself of your own truth, especially if you are doing so for the sake of others. Don't neglect your mental health trying to please everyone. It's okay to love someone and still prioritize yourself. It's okay to not live up to the expectations of who they want you to be. It's okay to give yourself time to learn and appreciate the true you. The right people will love you for who you are, not for who they think you should be. Finally, honesty reveals the true nature of relationships. As said by legendary musician John Lennon, being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. Honesty is the foundation for any lasting relationship because it encourages stronger bonds. When you are honest, people will like you or dislike you for who you are, as opposed to for who you appear to be. Accept that you cannot control how you are perceived in all times. Then, work towards shaping the best presentation possible. But all you can do is be you, and that is more than enough. Let's say you're a top athlete in a small town and you love Harry Potter books. Yet, not only did you not want to admit it to yourself because that interest is so unorthodox, but you also always thought that your friends would find it weird that you liked Harry Potter. Thus, instead of embracing your truth, in conversation, you hid your admiration in hopes that you could contain your passion. This works for some time, but then a Harry Potter book convention comes to town. But because you don't want your friends to know that you like Harry Potter, sadly, you don't go. Although you may have successfully avoid being seen at that time, are you really being true to you? Being honest about your love for the novels could have encouraged your friends to be honest about the things that they like and that they don't have the courage to share. Being honest with them could have brought you guys closer and maybe even introduced them to ideas that they have never thought of before. Better yet, it could have been the case that they also liked Harry Potter and you guys could have bonded that much closer and maybe even all went to the convention together. In addition, your honesty could have helped reveal your friend's true character behind the veil of familiarity. Maybe they could have become overly disrespectful to you because of your interest, and maybe that is the truth that you wanted to avoid. But do you really want to be around people that are that way deep down? Wouldn't it be better to find out that that was who they are in some way or another? Your honesty could have also encouraged you to go to the Harry Potter convention and possibly introduce yourself to new friends that you could speak to openly about your common interests. As you can see with these examples, honesty encourages the revelation of the nature of relationships and thus encourages stronger bonds with the people that you do know and encourages new bonds with the people that you don't. To put it all together, we can now assess that being honest plays a significant role in your life by overriding fear and creating confidence, encouraging self knowledge, and by revealing the true nature of relationships. We can now clearly see that being honest not only has a purpose, but is a necessary element to having a fulfilled and successful life. What do you think about being honest? I would love to read your comments as I finish this cup of tea, so please comment below, like this channel, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. That's it for today's episode of Tea with HC. Hope this helped you appreciate the significance of honesty in your life. I'll see you here next time on Howell Consultations, the how-to being true to you.